The list of Norris Trophy winners reads like a who's who of the Hockey Hall of Fame. Or, Potvin, Bork, Lidstrom, these names are pillars of hockey history. For 24 years, however, one name on that list was conspicuously absent from the Hall. A player who didn't just win the Norris, but scored 39 goals in a single season, a feat surpassed only by Bobby Orr and Paul Coffey. For decades, he was left waiting. This is the story of the unbelievable oversight that kept one of the best defensemen of his era on the outside looking in. The question isn't just if Doug Wilson belonged, it's how it took so long for everyone to admit it. When the Chicago Blackhawks drafted Doug Wilson 6th overall in 1977, they knew they were getting a gifted offensive defenseman. He did more than deliver. In an era where defensemen were primarily expected to defend, Wilson was a trailblazer. With elite skating and one of the most feared slap shots in the league, he didn't just chip in on offense, he was the offense. For 10 consecutive seasons, he was the undisputed offensive leader of the Blackhawk defensemen. On a team with stars like Dennis Savard, Wilson was the engine from the back end, controlling the game and putting up points at a rate that rivaled many forwards. His arrival as one of the league's premier players was signaled by his first of 8 All-Star selections in 1982. The 1981-82 season was the year Doug Wilson put it all together. He scored an astonishing 39 goals and added 46 assists for 85 points. To this day, those 39 goals remain a Chicago franchise record for a defenseman. It was a goal total that, at the time, was second only to the legendary Bobby Orr for a single season by a blue liner. The league had no choice but to recognize this unprecedented performance, awarding him the James Norris Memorial Trophy as the NHL's best defenseman over legends like Ray Bourque and Larry Robinson. Let's put that into perspective, the only names ahead of him on the all-time single-season goal list for a defenseman are Paul Coffey and Bobby Orr. That's the company he kept. This wasn't a fluke, he was a consistent Norris contender and a proven playoff performer, amassing 80 points in 95 career playoff games. After 14 brilliant seasons where he set franchise records for goals, assists, and points by a defenseman that he still holds, Wilson was traded to the expansion San Jose Sharks in 1991. He was immediately named the first captain in team history, providing instant credibility before retiring in 1993 after 1,024 games and 827 career points. His resume was pristine, a Norris Trophy, 7 All-Star selections, and production that placed him among the greatest offensive defensemen ever. And then, the wait began. Year after year, the Hall of Fame committee passed him over. For 24 years, he was on the outside looking in. So, what was the argument against him? The most common knock was the lack of a Stanley Cup, a tough criticism since his Chicago teams were consistently blocked by the dynastic Edmonton Oilers. Another argument was that his defensive game wasn't as strong as his offense, a narrative disputed by those who played with and coached him. Before his induction, Wilson and Randy Carlyle were often cited as the only eligible Norris Trophy winners not in the Hall of Fame. The snub became a notorious, inexplicable omission. Finally, on June 24, 2020, the call came. In his 24th year of eligibility, Doug Wilson was elected to the Hockey Hall of Fame. The reaction from the hockey world was a collective sigh of relief and a resounding, "It's about time." His induction wasn't just a celebration, it was a correction. It was the validation of a career that had been unjustly questioned for far too long. His legacy isn't just in the numbers, but in the way he helped redefine what a defenseman could be. He was a quarterback on the ice, a dynamic offensive force whose impact is still felt in Chicago, where his records remain untouched, and in San Jose, where he was a foundational captain and later, a longtime general manager. The story of Doug Wilson is a cautionary tale about how easily greatness can be overlooked when it doesn't fit a specific narrative. He didn't have the championships of a Dennis Potvin or the sheer offensive dominance of a Paul Coffey, but his career is a monument to sustained excellence. He is the Norris winner who waited longer than any other. His induction was a long overdue acknowledgement of one of the greatest careers on the blue line the sport has ever seen. The Hall of Fame didn't forget him, but they certainly took their time remembering. Now I want to ask you, who do you think is the biggest Hall of Fame snub still waiting for the call? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video, and click on the notification bell. And don't forget to click on the playlist above to watch more NHL Hall of Famers of his era. Thanks for watching.